Hi team, my name is Jason Beckenham. I'm a solutions engineer out of Toronto, Canada. Today I'm super excited to show you a step-by-step guide on how we can create visualizations using Tableau and our Datacloud data. We're going to build this visualization here that takes us through our individual IDs before unification all the way to that final unified person granular view. Without further ado, let's go. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this data model tab on my Datacloud instance. I'm going to select my account contact object label, and then I'm going to download my Tableau data source file. A Tableau data source file is basically a copy of the model that you've just built in Datacloud. And we can open it using a product called Tableau Desktop. For those of you who don't know what Tableau Desktop is, it's basically a way for you to drag and drop and show off visualizations based off of any data model, including Salesforce Data Cloud. When you go to connect to a Salesforce Data Cloud, you're going to want to off using an admin on that data cloud. We're going to allow API access to Tableau Desktop. And when you do so, you're basically going to see the following in your data model. We have every single one of our tables on the left-hand side here. And we have the preconceived relationships between those tables that are coming directly from your data cloud model. What this means is you don't have to repeat all of these relationships in an actual BI tool. With Tableau, you actually get these relationships out of the box. And this can save you a ton of time. Step one is to get used to my data model. I have a table here for my individuals. This table basically refers to every single one of my individuals that I've brought in that I'd like to unify. Then further down my model, I have a table too called Unified DLM. This table actually represents all the unified IDs that I've produced from Data Cloud. So you can think about this as in red here, we have all of our unlinked individual IDs. And then as we go forward through this process, we're going to get a resulting table here in green of all of our unified IDs. All right, let's start building. Just like in Excel, I have different sheets that I can access on Tableau. On this sheet, I'm going to show you how you can drag and drop different fields onto what we call a canvas, so you can create a meaningful visualization. First off is data source ID. So in this unification effort, I have 3 different data sources. I have 2 Salesforce orgs, and then I have an external data source like an S3 bucket or some kind of transactional information. Then I'd like to cross-reference this information by my data source object. Next, I'd like to add a counter for each one of these objects, cross-referenced by my data source IDs. Okay, here we go. We have a result here. The way that you read this chart is, for my Salesforce org 1 that I'm trying to unify, I have 508 contacts. I have 3 leads. And in Salesforce org 2, I have 409 contacts and 7 leads. Then finally, in my transactional information, I have an object called profiles, and I have 100 of them. Great. Next, let's go to create an individual data source object frequency. Okay, that's a lot of words. Let's talk through it. First things first, I'm going to take my data source object field and I'm going to place it on my rows just like I have before. Again, so I have contact and lead. From there, I'm going to access a different table of my unified individual now. And I'm going to use a special calculation that is actually developed and calculated directly at the Tableau level. Basically, what this calculation does is for every single unified person that I have, I want to count the amount of times that individual occurs within my data source object. Let's see this in action. I'm going to place it on my rows. And then finally, I'm going to take a count of these individuals and I'm going to set it to be colorful. Nice. I can interpret this chart in the following way. For every single person within my individual data sets, 101 of them have appeared throughout my data source objects once. 403 of those people have appeared across my data source objects twice. And then we actually have a very small number that have appeared 4 times across every single one of my data objects. Finally, let's create one last sheet that's more at the person granular level. I'm going to use a field called data source ID once again. And I'm going to cross-reference this by a new field called unified person name. This represents the actual name of the person that appears within Salesforce. Finally, I want to cross-reference this again by my data source object. In doing so, I can now track at a very table granular level the amount of times a unified person name has appeared across my other data sets. Okay, let's put all of these 3 sheets together inside of a dashboard. Lovely. Now, I'm not going to bore you with the dragging and dropping of a dashboard. It's actually pretty easy. And I've just sped this up a little bit for us, but you could really customize this in any way that you want. The final interpretation here allows you to do really interesting analysis. As an example, if I click on contact here, I can filter down my sheet to really just show me my individuals that appear 4 times across my data sets. And now I can start to say, was there actually something went wrong? Because this user is actually appearing as a contact twice within my Salesforce 1 instance. Maybe that's good, maybe that's not. Depending on your data strategy and how you want to unify your data, you can prepare a dashboard similar to this that can allow you to really start to explore and also measure the success of your individual unified records in Datacloud. If you want to explore exactly what you can do with Tableau and Datacloud, I'll leave you with this: Tableau accelerators. Tableau accelerators are pre-built templates that allow you to see exactly what Tableau can do. Of course, select connection type Salesforce Datacloud. Choose your accelerator. As an example, this identity resolution accelerator right here can really give you an idea as to what you might want to visualize using Tableau. I have email, mobile app, websites, they all have individuals. I'm starting off with 800K individuals, and I've actually ended with 400K unified profiles. And then, of course, your other Salesforce use cases can also be served. As an example, if you want to read data from your sales pipeline that is stored in Datacloud, you can start to visualize this all with Tableau, and you can even do a deep dive into your pipeline using our expert navigation buttons. Don't forget, Tableau can be embedded inside of Salesforce for your end users as well. And with that, I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial on the power of Datacloud plus Tableau.